talk about stylistic devices.
Yes.
Just a few.
Just a few. Yeah.
But actually, as a traditional is analysis, tell us what are stylistic devices in literature.
So stylistic devices, just like the word devices suggests, are tools. They are means through which a story is told. And we are talking about devices that assist the writer to bring out the themes or the issues that we've been talking about, and even the characters that are used in the story.
Why does the writer use those stylistic devices?
We are saying that they are used for an effect, to achieve an effect, right? But realistically speaking, there is no writer who sits down and decides that I'm going to use 5 symbols, 10 images, 3 instances of irony, and probably 1 or 2 pieces of hyperbole. Nobody does that.
Yes.
It is in the telling of the story that they come out, they emerge. So for us to be able to analyze stylistic devices, we need to read between the lines. There is nowhere in the play or in a novel where you are going to see a subheading written symbolism and then you read symbolism. It is all a matter of interpretation. We infer from the play and we say there is an image used here, there is a symbol used here, there is irony used here, and all that. So maybe we can begin by talking about the many images that the writer uses. And images are comparisons that help us to bring a picture, a mental picture of something. For example, you can have a direct comparison between 2 things or 2 ideas, right? For example, we can say that this a person who possibly behaves in a greedy and gluttonous manner, you can refer to that person as a hyena.
Yes.
That's an image. So we are familiar with the hyena and its behavior, but we are not familiar with the person being described. So for us to understand this person being described, we use the image of the hyena and its greed and its gluttony, so that we can understand the greed and gluttony of this person that we don't know. That is called a metaphor, a direct comparison.
Yes.
An image. Then another image would be a simile. A simile is where we use words like and as. For instance, he is as greedy as a hyena. No, that's a simile.
Yes.
But the first one I used was he is a hyena.
Yeah.
That's a metaphor.
Yes.
So the metaphor is very direct because
Very
we are taking one aspect and comparing it with another directly. But when we say he is as greedy as, so we are only looking at that aspect, the greed,
Oh, yes.
or between the two, right? So similes and metaphors are very important parts or aspects of imagery, right? We can also talk about personification. Personification is when something which has no feelings and no thoughts, it's not animate. For example, the chair I'm sitting on is given animate qualities. For example, because of my weight, I could say that this chair
My weight
is
not your weight.
complaining. My weight
Yes.
is complaining.
Yes.
When I started it started complaining. Therefore personifying
The chair.
the chair. So
Like
giving
it
it,
is complaining.
yeah, it cannot speak.
I kept on wondering when we were given those stories by
Yes.
grandmother. Our grandmother, she used to tell us,
Yes.
the hyena said. And I was wondering, maybe long time ago, hyenas used to speak.
Okay.
And the hair.
Although I would be a bit cautious to use animals in personification, because personification in itself refers to objects rather than animate things, animals and people, right? So a chair, a rock, a table, a tree, the weather, an idea, an object.
The weather respected us.
Exactly. Like
Yes.
today, the weather has really respected us.
Yes.
We are personifying the weather. But when we use animals, like for instance, in the stories your grandmother used to give,
Yes.
may her soul rest in eternal
Yes.
peace. you will see that the animals were used as animal characters. And we say that in oral literature, one stylistic device that is used to achieve the purpose of narration is use of animal characters. There is a tough word that linguists use in reference to that. Instead of personification, they call it anthropomorphism.
Yes.
Anthropomorphism is when animals are made to behave like human beings. Maybe to compare their behavior and all that. Yeah. So I would caution students against talking of animals as use of animals as personification.
Yes.
Rather, it is the use of objects that have no animate character, but being given animate character. Animate character is when we talk, we feel, we see, we breathe, and all that. Like trees breathing and talking and all that. You would be able to find a lot of such examples in our works of art. Yeah.
Yes.
Hyperbole sometimes, that is exaggeration. Yeah. It's also used as imagery, so that we are able to imagine the extent to which something happened.
Is there an example you can give in the book?
Possibly, yeah. We can talk about the use of images by Helmer in reference to his wife. For example, he keeps referring to her as his little skylark. His little skylark. A skylark is a bird.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful bird. Yeah. So we can see the metaphor in reference to his wife, that he keeps looking down upon her. He keeps viewing her not as a human being, but just as a decoration, as just something that keeps him happy. A pet, exactly. There are so many references to the wife as such that would be considered as part of imagery. So we can talk of symbolism as the use of ideas or objects or people to represent something bigger than themselves, right? A symbol. For example, what I'm holding in my hand here, seen as a symbol, if it is drawn somewhere, it could be, someone says that the pen is mightier than the sword. So we are thinking of this symbolically. What are we talking about? That it, as you are saying, it can hold willpower, the power of the written word. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not just looking at the Bible in my hand. I'm looking at something bigger that it can do. Yeah. It's a symbol of the written word. In the play, we can talk about several symbols. For example, the title, doll, the doll's house. The doll symbolizing this chauvinistic view that we've been discussing. That the man views the woman as a doll, as a pet, as someone who cannot think, as someone who has no ideas of her own. That's a very important symbolism, right? Then the issue of the loan that Nora borrows from the bank on behalf of her husband. I would say it's a very important symbol. It is symbolic of women trying to come out of that situation where they are underrated. That now they are able to emerge from oppression. That they are now empowered enough. They can do things that were not impossible before. That she can even go to a bank and borrow money, regardless of the fact that she goes and forges a signature. But she does something that her husband could not do, and she does it to save him, right?
Yes.
And so many others. The issue of macaroons, the sweets that she's taking,
yes,
they are symbolic of her trying to break out of those shackles of women oppression. Yeah? That these macaroons, the sweets, they are a symbol of men oppression against women. That we have seen a lot of gifts given to women even today. Yeah? And when someone is given a gift, they say that there is nothing that comes for free. So she's only allowed to take macaroons as long as she behaves nicely, as long as she continues to be the beautiful Skylark, the doll to help. Right?
How about foreshadowing?
Foreshadowing as a
stylistic
device. For example, where Dr. Rank prepares us for his own death, and he says that he's going to actually send a message to Nora and the husband, so that when they see that message, for example, he's saying that he's going to send a card with a mark on top, and when they see that card in their letterbox, they should know that he has come to the end, that he has killed himself. So we are prepared for his death in advance. Yeah? We also prepared for the separation between Nora and Helma, when this whole saga of the letter from Krogstad comes about. When he sends the letter, and he was not even supposed to send it, and then maybe Mrs. Lind comes and tries to convince him not to send the letter. We are beginning to be prepared now for a showdown between Nora and her husband. I would say that's an example of foreshadowing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kimani, for that interview and analysis. And I believe this will go a long way to assisting students who are at home, and who, because I know what we are going through is short-lived, the coronavirus will be defeated, and this video will continue helping others today and until these set books are removed from the syllabus.
Hello viewers, my name is Thomas Kimani. I am a teacher of English and literature, and I have a wide-ranging experience in this area. On top of making video analysis of set books, I have also written several publications on the same. Most important of all, oral literature and oral skills analysis book that I published in 2011, and which I would advise you to look for, so that it can assist you. On top of that, I am a counselor, youth counselor to be specific, a motivational speaker, and I accompany a lot of young people in their day-to-day issues that may arise. I would be more than happy to join you in your institution, so that as an individual and even as a group or as a class, we can work together and try to deal with some of the issues that beset our society today. As you have heard, we have only done a little bit of what we can call the analysis of this play. It would not be very wise to purely rely on our little exposition on this play, but it would be very important for you, the student, to go back, take this book, read it, analyze it with your friends, and most important, respond to questions, essay questions, excerpt questions on this play, so that it can be useful to you when it comes to responding to examination questions. Most important, hold discussions on various issues, inclusive of the ones we have raised here and others that are relevant to the modern society, which have been raised by this writer. See you when we do the analysis of the next book, which is Blossoms of the Savannah by Henry Olekulet. As always, I'm grateful to accompany you in the analysis of set books and in dealing with any other issues that may be of interest. Thank you very much, and God bless you.